So let's jump into now. Once you have the headband set up and you have it
Yeah.
connected to your phone, what is the
Yeah.
app experience like?
So when you open the app, you'll get a little tutorial about a lot of these core concepts that you and I are talking about.
Okay.
So as a user, you can understand what this is, how it works, and what it's for. And then on the home screen, you will immediately see your FocusCalm score. One of the really cool things about this experience is you're always connected to your brain while you have the
Mhm.
app open and the headband on. You can always see your FocusCalm score. And so once you're on the homepage, then we have all different types of content. And the content is split into some of those categories like learn, strengthen, challenge.
Okay.
But we kind of categorize it into meditations and games. So the
Okay.
meditations are where you learn, the games are where you strengthen and challenge. And so for the games, as an example that I gave before, the rocket ship, that would be a strengthening game. And so we have
Mhm.
all different types of games that work with a similar mechanic where the
Mhm.
more relaxed you are, you can see your focus calm score changing in real time and you get more points by making the rocket ship fly. Or we have another game where there's a campfire and you make the campfire grow, and as it grows it
Yeah.
starts melting marshmallows and you're trying to melt as many marshmallows as possible.
Got it.
So we basically have like a whole catalog, and
Mhm.
then we also have programs where if you want to solve a specific issue or work on a specific
Okay.
issue, like we were mentioning sleep, anxiety, etc., you can get taken through that three-step process in this
Got it.
kind of guided fashion to
Got
to
it.
get the benefit.
And for the user experience, how long are some of these games, or how long is a session, I guess? And how frequently do you recommend, just for the average person, I guess, how frequently do you recommend this per week or how long?
Right. Yeah. No, that's a great question. So all of our research is based on people doing one program per day, and a program takes
Okay.
about 15 minutes. So
Okay.
we want this to be bite sized, right? So the meditations are 6 to 10 minutes long.
Mhm.
The calm games, which are part of the strengthen step, are about 2 minutes long. And
Okay.
same thing with the focus games. They're only a couple of minutes long. So 15 minutes per day. And what we've seen in our research is that completing about 20 sessions, if you can get 20 sessions under your belt, you're more likely to see statistically significant improvements in well-being, reductions in burnout, reductions in anxiety. So it's 15 minutes of training. And then there's one other little secret of the app, which is that if you meditate, you can sit down for 20 minutes and not really know how well it went. After 20 minutes, you open your eyes and you ask yourself, what the hell did I just do? Did that do anything?
Yes.
Uh, what we have found is when you do this type of training, if you can get your brain into that calm, at ease, high focus calm state, if
Mhm.
you can get into that state for just 7 minutes in a given day, that's kind of the threshold for seeing a lot of these benefits. So if
Wow.
you have 15 minutes to do training, or if you can even just get into that high focus calm zone for 7 minutes a day,
Uh-huh.
after about 20 times doing that, you're much more likely to see all these significant benefits and well-being.
Wow, that's really interesting. And I like how you give us some, rules of thumb. Obviously, it depends on your experience, your training level, and all of those things. But at least it kind of gives people an understanding, especially if you're just starting off, what to kind of expect, what to focus on. Obviously, you have to do the exercises and the games well, but you can see benefit relatively quickly. I mean, we're talking about if you do it every day in less than a month, you could notice some improvements, right?
Definitely.
Now, let's switch over to a lot of athletes out there, or anyone that's looking to just perform better, right?
Yeah.
Now they're seeing some improvements. What are some of the feedback that you hear or that you've witnessed with performance? Like how do you see this translate into sports, activities, life? What are they telling you with
Yeah.
their experience after some training?
So there's a few big categories. One big category is that well-being matters. We're
Mhm.
all human. We
Yeah.
all need to think about our mental wellness and mental fitness.
Mhm.
And so just helping people reduce stress is a good thing. Helping people learn to fall asleep more quickly or have more control over their mindset is a really good thing.
Mhm.
Helping people get into the right mindset before they perform
Mhm.
is really important. And so the things that we have seen are measured improvement at visualization abilities. We did a study with some professional athletes who were injured, and they were looking to get back into play. And we measured all different types of well-being and also kind of other performance-based metrics as it relates to their mental fitness. And the thing that stood out most was the people who practice with FocusCalm improved the most at being able to visualize themselves playing successfully. I think you might see this with some of your clients.
Mm-hmm.
The injury is the injury, and that's not good. But
Mm-hmm.
also it can create fear or hesitation or anxiety around performing again.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can reduce that, then that's going to have a tremendous effect both on their mental well-being, their ability to perform, and maybe even reducing the chances of re-injury because they're more confident, they're more at ease, they're more in flow. So it kind of runs the gamut in terms of the benefits. When you can train your mind and your brain, then yes, your well-being is going to improve. Yes, your ability to get ready to perform is going to improve. Your
Mm-hmm.
ability to manage your emotions and your stress is going to improve.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of the holistic vision or view is it's not just about the sport. Now you have these skills in the rest of your life too, and your other relationships and the other things that you're pursuing. You know, have a broader range of tools in your toolbox to perform well at those things too.
Yes, that's a great explanation of, all of the things that I like how you said it's holistic, right? There's so many spillover benefits in all these different areas of your life because it's your well-being again. Now, I understand that, or for athletes, right? Understanding that consistent training is really what matters. Even when you're talking about, physical attributes, you need to be consistently training physically so that you can perform, right? Same thing with this app. You need to consistently use it. But is there a way that athletes use this, like kind of to integrate into their pregame or their warm up? Is there some type of benefit in having not only physical warm up, but even mental warm up, right? So that you can handle these stressors that you encounter in games or practices. Explain a little bit about how athletes use it as a warm up.
That's a good question. And it opens up the door to a really interesting concept, which is different people need different levels of activation before they perform.
Yes.
Some people are really high strung and they need to come way down so that they can get into the pocket. They can get into the zone of their genius, the zone of them being able to perform. Some people are really chilled out and they need to upregulate. They need to get more excited. They need to get more focused so that they can get into that window, that zone where they can perform their best. And so we have relaxation games, we have focus games to help people kind of modulate their brain activity and get into the zone they need to be in. So one of the world's best tennis players will upregulate before she competes, because that's what she needs to kind of be in that more focused zone. Mm-hmm. We have another example might be, we have some elite weightlifters who maybe lean towards the performance anxiety side, which I guess really makes sense in their sport because everything is on the line with just a couple of lifts. So they might do more of the calming activities. So it's really about what environment you're about to step into, understanding where you are and where you need to be to perform your best. And the training and the app can help you do that.
Got it. There's so many, things to think about and consider with the mental aspect. And I mean, I think it's always been important, right? But I would say within the past 5 to 10 years, even, there's so much more light being shed on this area of training mental well-being or just focusing on mental health, right? In general, which is kind of exactly what you're talking about. Maybe a lot of people didn't think about it before. Like, what is my mental state at before I compete or practice and all of that? And it's kind of like just something that you overlook and you just go into practice every day. But these little things, I think it can give you that little bit of an advantage when you're performing or practicing that will make a lot of significant returns in the long run.